Welcome to the broadcast and welcome to Larry W. Robinson Show. I'm your host, Larry W. Robinson. I'm excited about today's conversation. We're talking with Gil Michelle. We're actually going to be talking about the 5 biggest mistakes churches make concerning finances. Today, we're talking about the 5 biggest mistakes churches make concerning finances. My guest today is Gil Michelle. He is the president of churchaccountingservices.com. That's www.churchaccountingservices.com. Gil Michelle, welcome back to the broadcast, sir.
Thank you very much, Larry. It's good to be here.
All right, do me a favor. Before we get into the heart of our conversation, tell the listening audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how to get in touch with you.
Sure. My name is Gil Michelle. I am the president of the Caleb Group that handles a number of financial initiatives. And one of the things I'm most proud to present to churches is churchaccountingservices.com. Been an accountant. I'm a second-generation accountant. My father was an accountant for many years, and me and my 2 brothers grew up working in the firm, and we all have our own accounting firms actually at this point. I'm in ministry also, and so I pastor a church here in South Bend, Indiana. And so because I've dealt with churches for so long and handling financial statements, usually for banks and things of that nature, then someone says, I don't get it. You're an accountant. You're also a pastor. You know ministry. Why don't you offer this to more churches? And so we started opening it up to churches all around the country. And it's been a huge blessing that we've been able to bless other churches and help them handle their finances in a really succinct, affordable manner. So that's a little bit about who I am and a little bit about what I do.
I love it. Well, I'm excited about it. Let's get right on into the conversation today. 5 biggest mistakes churches make concerning finances. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm sure you've seen these mistakes quite often over the years. So I can't wait to talk about them today. 5 big mistakes churches make concerning finances. Again, you're watching the Larry W. Robinson Show. And today my guest is Gil Michelle. He is the president of Church Accounting Services. So let's go with it. Gil, 5 biggest mistakes churches make concerning finances. What's number 1 on the list?
The one is really, it's about accountability and having checks and balances. Too many churches, because they don't really have the adequate help, so many things get lost. I say lost in the sauce. They'll send one of the good, trusted deacons in the back room to go ahead and count the money. And nobody's saying that Deacon Willie, is siphoning money off the the offering or anything. But it's always good to have everybody above board. So it's not whether or not someone is stealing. It's not whether or not someone is doing the wrong thing. If you want to take away every occasion and opportunity for anyone to even make an accusation. So, I always told churches, hey, get 2 people to go in the room and to sign off on a sheet. Now, it's much harder for 2 people to get away with doing the wrong thing than it is for 1. And it's much harder for 3 people. So as many people as you can go in and help get the offering counted or have checks and balances in place and controls so that everyone has a certain level of comfort and peace, knowing that there's not even the occasion or the opportunity or the occasion for any wrongdoing to happen is greatly decreased. It gives everybody peace of mind. And it's not to say someone is not honest or dishonest. We're not even going to give you the opportunity to be that way. So I find too many times that churches don't have checks and balances in place to make sure that accountability is in order.
All right. Talking today with Gil Michelle. You know what? In a recent issue of the Gospel Updates e-magazine, you placed this cool ad. I just thought it was so cool. You could have Sister Johnson do your books, but why risk it? I love it. For more information, of course, you can go to churchaccountingservices.com. Talking today about 5 big mistakes churches make concerning finances. Of course, number 1 on the list, accountability, checks, and balances. All right, Gil, what's number 2?
Number 2 is, and I see this so many times when I talk to pastors, I'll ask them, how exactly are you being compensated? well, the church, they kind of just get, they give me a little love offering, and and so it's like, well, and how's that determined? Is it housing allowance? Is it, is it straight pay? Are you considered self-employed minister? Are you on actual payroll? And they're like, well, no, we just sort of take the cash off and give it to the pastor, kind of nice little Pentecostal handshake. You know what I mean? And thank you, pastor. We want to be a blessing. And you're like, well, that's really not the way to do it. And there are ways to structure pastoral compensation so that they're not subject to income tax. What a lot of churches don't realize is that if you file certain forms in a timely manner, you can have your pastor's compensation be exempt from income tax. Now, some of it might be subject to self-employment tax, but that's what we can talk about. And every situation or solution is not a one-size-fits-all. For example, you may have a place where you want to show a little bit of income because you want to buy a house, or you may have your own house, or maybe you have a parsonage that the church provides. Everybody doesn't have the same situation. You have kids that are in college and you don't want to show a certain amount of income so that you can get financial aid. Everybody's situation is different. And what we do is one by one, we sit with pastors and make sure that the pastoral compensation package that they choose is best for them and best for the church. So we want to make it a win-win for everybody. And so many churches make a lot of errors in how they compensate their pastor, and we like to think that we're there to help.
All right. 5 big mistakes churches make concerning finances. Accountability was number 1 with your checks and balances. Mm-hmm. Of course, number 2, the pastoral compensation. Talking with Gil Michelle. He is the president of churchaccountingservices.com. All right, Gil, what's number 3?
Number 3 on the list of 5 big mistakes that churches make when they do their financial preparation is the budgeting process. I don't know how many times I say this. I say it for churches. I say it for businesses. I say it for individuals. Without a budget in place, you don't know whether or not you're on a good track. Now, if you're in your first year of ministry, you're kind of finding your sea legs. You try to understand exactly how you're spending things. But after the 2nd and 3rd year and 4th and 5th and even 10th year, I find that many churches don't have a budget in place. You don't know how to build and plan for your money unless you look at the past, make some determinations, and then start planning based on that. So, for example, you're like, well, we really believe in God for a breakthrough year. Well, what's considered a breakthrough year? Is it 5% more in giving, 10%, 20%? You set those benchmarks in place, and then you seek as a church to go after them. And someone told me a long time ago, if you don't have a goal, you'll hit it real fast. And so churches need to do that as well. And people see budgeting processes as restrictive and trying to hold them back. And we want to give God room to do what he wants to do. We'll let him do. But you don't know if he's done something great unless you've given him something to measure up to. And so churches need to sit down and look at how you want to actually define your mission. Do you want to be a church that's known for outreach? Then maybe you look at your budget and go, we want to determine that 30% of our money will go toward outreach or missions or whatever it is. But if you don't go through that budgeting process and set real, clear, definitive goals, then no one knows how to go after it. Unless the call is made clear, people can't follow it. So
that's good. All right. Talking to Gil Michelle about 5 big mistakes churches make concerning finances. Hey, let's just take a pause real quickly. You have an upcoming webinar that you're going to be doing. Tell our listening audience about that.
Yeah. I call it making a loud call and calling all church administrators and pastors in the room. I present some of the material and some of the things I've seen from doing church accounting and books over the many years. And then I kind of sit back and I do a little Q&A for a few minutes. You can't do it all day and all night because you would be there all day and all night. But we open up a little Q&A and then maybe hear some questions, because when you ask a question, more than likely someone else has the same question. And answer those questions, and then we try to arrange maybe one-on-one to just talk to some churches and church administrators about some of the needs that they have for their church.
Love it. Okay. And so also, if someone is listening to our conversation today and they are not available for your upcoming webinar, and they have questions, is there a number they can call to get maybe a free consultation?
Why, it's funny you ask. Yes. If you call 1-877-NOW-WEALTH. If you call that number, we'll call you back or speak with you about scheduling a consultation, 15 minutes for free, just to talk about what it is you're facing and how we can help.
All right. Good deal. Talking today with Gil Michelle from churchaccountingservices.com about 5 big mistakes churches make concerning finances. Of course, first up on the list, accountability, checks and balances. And then, of course, the pastoral compensation and then budgeting processes. All right, moving to number 4.
Number 4 on the list is how they handle the activities at the end. Person has given over $250 in any annual calendar year towards your organization, you are required to give them a giving statement. And that giving statement should include certain language. It shouldn't be, thank God bless you, Brother Joe. You've been a real blessing to the ministry. Thanks for giving $15 or $200 or $1,000. The Lord bless you. There is certain language that should be in that correspondence. There should be certain language that the IRS requires to have in that letter to show that it is truly a tax-deductible gift. One of the language that should be in there, it should say that nothing in your giving, your donation, did not require any goods or services for what you gave. That makes it extremely clear that you didn't just give $1,000 and you got a tape series or you got a book or you got something that had a certain value. It makes it very clear that you gave that donation to the church or the ministry without any expectation for goods or services involved. And so that's one of the things that we talk about, a number of things actually for year-end activities. And, you know, I get it. At the end of the year, people are busy, people are not as available, and a lot of these things fall through the crack. But we can discuss ways that systems can be in place so that by the time the year-end comes, it doesn't have to be a huge hassle.
All right, good deal. 5 big mistakes churches make concerning finances. Talking with Gil Michelle from churchaccountingservices.com. What is the last mistake on the list, sir?
The last one on the list, but there's a lot of other ones. And this one I'll throw in is that they don't seek professional help. You know, I had a meeting with my staff because I told you I pastor a church. I had a meeting with some people, and I said, sometimes we have what I call blind spots. And we don't realize, we don't know what we don't know. And so it's always good to surround yourself with other people who know more than you. I heard even President Barack Obama say, I don't want to sit down and realize that I'm the smartest person in the room. I hire other people. I bring people on because you have expertise in certain areas. And I understand sometimes professional help can be very expensive. But I see hiring a professional as an investment. Now, shameless plug, we're not expensive. We probably cost what it, for most people, spend on coffee every day in a month, or what they pay a musician to come in and maybe play or sing for a special event. Our rates are extremely affordable. And what we do it partly because we're ministry minded and because we've seen so many churches try to do it on their own and really fail miserably. And so seeking professional help is not an admission that I don't know what I'm doing. It's an admission that I want to do what we do with excellence. And so I don't fix my own car. I don't change my brakes. I can probably get on a YouTube video and find out how to do it. But why would I want to when there's someone who's gone to school, who knows my car inside and out and can fix it on a much more efficient basis? And so that's the way I approach it. And when I tell people like, oh, you're just trying to get a new client. Well, we kind of are. And we are trying to help people at the same time. And seeking professional help is wisdom. It's good stewardship over the resources that God has given a ministry. So that's the way I see it. And that's, I think, one of the biggest mistakes I see churches do. They don't seek professional help to make sure that their finances are in the best shape possible.
All right. 5 big mistakes that churches make concerning their finances. For more information, you can actually go to churchaccountingservices.com. That's www.churchaccountingservices.com. Tell them about your offer for a free 15-minute consultation again.
Yes. If you do contact us, whether by going to our website and hitting the contact page, or if you call 1-877-NOW-WEALTH, we'll are more than happy to schedule a 15-minute consultation with you to talk about how we can help you with the needs of your church. It's funny, Larry, two churches can look almost identical, 100, 150 members, couple of people on, and then it looks like from the outside that they're identical when in so many ways they're different. And it's like fingerprints. There's no two alike. And churches might be similar, but they have specific needs that they need professional help with their financials for.
All right. Well, Gil Michelle, thank you so very much for sharing this topic. 5 big mistakes churches make concerning their finances. Make sure you contact Gil Michelle today by going to churchaccountingservices.com. Or, of course, go ahead and call the number 1-800-NOW-WEALTH. That is 1-877-NOW-WEALTH. 1-877-NOW-WEALTH. And for more great conversations just like this, go to LarryWRobinson.com. That's www.LarryWRobinson.com. Gil Michelle, thank you again for being my guest today.
Thank you.
Bless you, sir.
All right.